All right, hello everybody, and welcome to our virtual college fair this evening. We hope you're well wherever you're coming to us from, and good evening. So tonight, this is a St. Louis four-school virtual college fair, and we've got a lineup of some great presenters representing some awesome schools who are ready and excited to share information with you all about the different institutions that they represent. I always just like to give a quick reminder for you that this is a 6x6 virtual college fair format. So what that means is we've got 6 great schools represented, and they're going to share a snapshot with you, 6 minutes. Now, fair warning, that's a lot of information to share with you in 6 minutes. So hang in there while they do their best to stay within the time limit. But no, this is also just kind of to whet your appetite, so to speak, to give you a little bit of information so that you can then go to the websites that they share and reach out through the contact information that's provided to continue to do exploration outside of this session. And you're going to hear it probably said several times tonight, but to visit however you can, whether that's virtually or in person, we really invite you to keep researching and exploring more outside of this session. So just a quick overview, a few housekeeping items for you. You have the opportunity to ask questions, and those will be private. So you'll use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your Zoom screen. So our panelists here will get your questions and they'll respond back to you privately. You may also see some information pop up in the chat. So it's one directional, so they can send information to you all. And you'll see some contact information, some URLs, some different websites. I recommend you click and bookmark if there's a school that you want to make sure that you connect with later or after this call. So just a reminder that your camera and your microphone are off, so we can't see or hear from you all, but the Q&A is the best way to be able to drop your questions while we're on the session. Otherwise, reach out to folks on this call and on the panel after our session tonight. We always encourage you to continue to sign up for different sessions, lots and lots of college presentations. So you can go back to the StriveScan website to be able to do that. And speaking of the website, this recording will be available to you within about a week. So sometimes people just like to go back, check out the website to get some recordings on demand and to be able to share them with friends, family, or to be able to review information at your own time on demand later. So you'll do that at strivescan.com/St. Louis Fourschool. So without further ado, we definitely want to dive in, and we're going to start with Depaul University. And Sarah, I will turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Thanks everyone for joining here tonight. I'm excited to get to tell you a little bit about Depaul. So once again, my name is Sarah Fink. I am an admission counselor at Depaul. I also work with students from the St. Louis area. So again, super excited to be able to chat with you all tonight and hopefully answer your questions later on. I always like to start out with this gorgeous picture of the DePaul's Lincoln Park campus. DePaul is a private Catholic liberal arts university located in Chicago. And I think this picture does a really great job of not only showing where we are in the city, but also kind of breaking that misconception of what being an urban institution means. We do have trees on our campus. We do have a quad area. So even though we are right in the heart of Chicago, we have a really great balance of the city and more traditional college landscape because of our dual campus structure. So speaking of the dual campus, this map does a little better job of showing where specifically we are in Chicago. You can see there at the top, our Lincoln Park campus, what I just showed you. Lincoln Park is a northern neighborhood of Chicago, about 15 minutes north of downtown. If you're interested in studying things like the liberal arts, science and health, education, theater, and music, most of your courses are going to be in our Lincoln Park campus. If you're interested in areas like business, communication, and computing and digital media, all of those courses are going to be downtown in our Loop campus. So we do function as a dual campus, meaning that any resource you find in one, you'll find in the other. But theoretically, students can spend their time on both campuses, all throughout their 4 years. Every student at DePaul gets a U-Pass, which gets you unlimited access to the Chicago trains and buses. So as cheesy as it sounds, we really do consider the entire city of Chicago to be our campus. And it's really great. You can use that U-Pass, again, not just to get back and forth between your classes, but really to explore all of Chicago. To dive in a little bit more about DePaul, to tell you who we are. So DePaul is currently the largest Catholic university in the nation. Doesn't mean you have to be Catholic to attend DePaul. About 30% of our 22,000 students identify as Catholic, with over 30 different religions represented, including students who don't practice. About 45% of our students are students of color, and about a third are first generation college students. All of those different facts I tell you now just to really reiterate what DePaul's mission is, why we were founded, who we aim to serve. We were named after St. Vincent de Paul, who is the patron saint of charity. So those values of community service, of access and attainment of a college education, and inclusivity are really important to who we are and our mission. We were one of the first universities in Illinois to admit women and people of color. I'm proud to say we were the first institution in Illinois to have a woman graduate with a college education. So again, just going back to those values of who we are. Diving a little further into academics, I mentioned some of our colleges a little bit earlier, but right here I can tell you our top 5 most popular majors include film and television, health sciences, accounting, psychology, and computer science. I think that gives a pretty good broad scope of all that we have available for students to study. We do have over 300 different academic programs, including majors, minors, and concentrations. So there's a lot of different possibilities for what you can study at DePaul. All of that will be founded in the liberal arts. We are a liberal arts institution, meaning that in addition to your major courses, you're also taking classes in different areas of the liberal arts to complement your major courses. So when you graduate, you're not only prepared to go into the industry that your major is setting you up for, you also have these transferable skills that you are able to apply to any industry. Going outside of the classroom, we really take advantage of being located in Chicago. You can see here we have over 350 different student clubs and organizations. Students are heavily involved in things both on campus and off. In terms of career outcomes, 94% of our graduating seniors are employed or continuing their education within 6 months of graduation. So we're really happy to be located in such a great global city like Chicago and have all these connections to local businesses that our students can take advantage of. Every single year, we have over 500 companies that recruit actively on campus. So we're really fortunate to be able to provide those foundations for our students. And it's actually required at DePaul that you complete what's called an experiential learning requirement. This can be fulfilled either by having an internship, studying abroad, or doing a community-based service learning course. So all of these different requirements come together to, again, really showcase how important it is that we want students getting outside of the classroom, learning from either the Chicago neighborhoods or from abroad or potentially elsewhere in the US. Other things about getting involved on campus, we are in the Big East division, so we compete against schools like Villanova, Georgetown, Creighton, other really amazing private schools in the Midwest and the East. All sporting events are free for students to attend, so it's really fun to go cheer on our Blue Demons at those sporting events. I'll round out my discussion talking a little bit about applying to DePaul. There is no application fee. It is free to apply, and we are on the Common App. So we are Common App exclusive. There's no other way to apply to DePaul. If you're interested, if you're going to be a senior this upcoming year, our application opens up on August 1st. And then I really recommend applying by November 15th to get full consideration for scholarships and admission. Every student who is admitted to DePaul as an incoming freshman does receive an academic scholarship. And we are also test optional and have been for about 12 years or so. So if you have test scores that you would like to apply with, you certainly can, but just know that it is not required. So I'll end up my discussion again, just saying thanks so much for attending the session. I'll go ahead and drop my contact information in the chat, and I look forward to connecting with you all soon.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing some great information about DePaul. We're going to turn it over to Maggie from Fontbonne University next.
Thank you. I will go ahead and start sharing my screen. So, like Danielle said, my name is Maggie. I am a freshman admissions counselor here at Fontbonne. I am also a Fontbonne alum, so I love this school and am excited to share a little bit about it. It will let me. There we go. Fontbonne is located in St. Louis, Missouri, specifically in the city of Clayton. Our student body is about 1,200 students, with about 900 being undergraduate. You'll find about 30% of our students do live on campus, which seems to be a large community-based school, but that does not mean all those students are from St. Louis specifically or exclusively. We do see a lot of our students enjoy the surrounding areas of Clayton, including the Loop, including Maplewood or Richmond Heights, and then a little bit downtown as well. Having such a small campus allows us to have that 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which has a little bit of a smaller class size. We cap out at about 25, but you tend to see your general education courses be about 20. Once you're into your major, you'll see a little bit fewer students. We do have over 40 majors to choose from, and I'll talk a little bit about some of those highlighted ones later on. And we're also Division III athletics. Some of those highlighted majors I was mentioning include our speech language pathology, which is an amazing study for us, deaf education, which is actually what Fontbonne is founded with, as well as our education. Our cybersecurity and computer science are both ABET accredited. We also have a phenomenal dietetics program, fashion merchandising program, exercise science, sports management, fine arts, data science, and then of course, business, math, history, psychology, all those as well. We have amazing partnerships with both all of our engineering, pre-nursing, and social work and occupational therapy with various universities in the surrounding St. Louis area. And we have very interesting and diverse minors that go from African American studies to women's studies to gender studies, One Health, and global studies. And these are just a few of them. We have over 100 areas of study in general to have our students look into. Our admissions process is pretty easy. We just ask that you apply, and it's free to do through our website, or we are also found on the Common App that was recently introduced this past year. We do request your transcripts, and if you've taken the ACT or SAT, we would be happy to look at it. However, we do not require the ACT or SAT. What we are looking for is about a 3.0 or over. That will be new to our school this upcoming year, and we are hoping to continue test optional going forward into the new season. We do offer both virtual and on-campus visits. We have not closed, and we'd love to see you on our campus. And as soon as we have given you that admission decision, you are free to let us know, put down your deposit, and enroll. The deposit is about $100, and the national deadline is May 1st. However, we are welcome to all students still applying after that deadline. You will also want to be securing that housing deposit, though, of course, as soon as possible. So we love to see that before May 1st. Going with that, we know money is super important when you're making your college decisions. So we have a vast options of scholarships. We start with the very basic for the merit-based, and that's based on your GPA and ACT or SAT if you choose. They start at $6,500, can go all the way up to $15,000. That is per year for up to 4 to 5 years. If you do qualify for that $15,000 and you've applied early on in the first semester of your senior year, you will qualify to apply for a presidential scholarship, which is full tuition. We also offer the Fontbonne Promise, which is full tuition and debt-free education for those who are zero EFC but are very promising students. We also offer transfer scholarships in case you're interested in transferring to Fontbonne. Those are Phi Theta Kappa. They're also merit-based, or they're the community college commitment, which means if you've completed your associates at the community college, we offer a discounted rate for tuition. If you are part of the A+ program, we'd love to offer that to you as well as if you're interested in fine arts, a part of Boys or Girls State, or if you're a part of some of our select sports. Those sports being esports, cheer and stunt, and dance. Those are some of our newer sports, so we're excited to highlight those as ones that we are able to offer scholarships to. However, as I mentioned earlier, we are Division III, so for other sports like baseball, softball, basketball, we are not able to offer scholarships. However, we do love to see our athletes come in and thrive and do amazing work both on and off the field. And we have almost any sport you can think of. Our student life is very vast as well. If we don't have something you're interested, you are welcome to start a program. All you need to do is talk to a faculty or a staff advisor and just get it started. However, we have amazing mentorship programs like the 1G Collective, which is for first generation students like myself, or Griffin's Achieving Progress, or GAP. We have different clubs, whether it's according to your major or whether it's according to your interests. So I was part of the Disney Leadership Institute myself. I just love Disney. Others include tutoring services. So anything you can think of, we have the Kinkle Center. That is all for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maggie, for being here and for sharing some information. And so now we're going to go over to Macallister College with Ilion, and feel free to take it away.
Hello, everyone. Eliane Paz, Director for Recruitment at Macalester College. My pronouns are she, her, hers. Happy to be here with you today. And in my 6 minutes, try to get through as much of Macalester as I can. So much to share with you. First, you'll see from this map, we're located in Minnesota. A distinction for Macalester is we're one of just really a handful of selective liberal arts colleges of our size in a metropolitan area. So tremendous benefits for our students in the Twin Cities to be able to engage in the Twin Cities culturally, socially. There are so many things to do. And then there are, of course, a lot of academic opportunities for our students in the Twin Cities. I do want to note that our cities have been in the spotlight around the world in this past year. And though we are feeling a little sense of relief with the Derek Chauvin case, we still have a lot of work to do in our cities, in our state, and beyond. And I want to say that Macalester stands firmly on that side, working towards that as an institution, which very much ties into who we are and our values. We're a very mission-driven institution. Our values are internationalism, multiculturalism, service to society, and high scholarship. So they really drive who we are as a college. You'll see them reflected both in our curriculum, but also in our campus culture. A big history of internationalism, multiculturalism we've had for quite a while, in that it has directed our students to come to a community that values global citizenship. So of our 2,100 students, about 24% of them are citizens of 98 countries. Our students come from all 50 US states. Our students that are coming to Macalester for the first time, there are about 16% of our students that are first generation in their family to go to college, and about 33% of our students identify as US students of color. So we are an institution that really values the different cultures represented on campus, and that history of internationalism harkens back to being a college that started to wave the UN flag in the 1950s. Our president of the college was actually in World War II during the time, and decided when he came back that our college needed to, in order to be a place for change makers, needed to be a place where students will see and meet people with different perspectives. So we have over 66 areas of study. Those that are kind of draw a lot of students to our campus are international studies. We do have one of the largest, broadest, and deepest programs in the nation. In addition to all of the other programs that are of great interest to our students, we're seeing a tremendous amount of growth in biology, chemistry, psychology, English, computer science, psychology, I said that, and political science. So one of the things that I like to talk about are our concentrations, because they address world issues. So if you're a student that's interested in food insecurity, maybe food, agriculture, and society would be a great concentration for you. Or maybe you're interested in studying about COVID, for example, maybe studying something like community and global health. So being a liberal arts college, our students don't actually apply to go to Macalester in a specific area. They have until the end of their sophomore year to identify what major they want to choose. And there's so many options for them, and seemingly endless combination of options. So one of our great strengths is all of the internships within 8 miles of campus that we have at Mac, from one of the 16 Fortune 500 companies like Ecolab or 3M, or maybe one of the state agencies like the Minnesota Department of Health, Metro Transit, Veterans Affairs, maybe interning for a state senator, a US senator, the Federal Reserve Bank, or maybe you want to be a part of a small printing press, or you want to go behind the scenes at the Walker Art Center. There are internships for all the different disciplines that our students are interested and want to explore. Those are just one of the milestones. So internships, research, so important. 80% of our students do research with a faculty member in STEM, about 50% across the board. And then a study away. About 60% of our students take advantage of our 95 study away programs. We have excellent placement, I think, because we have so many opportunities in preparation for our students beyond Macalester, and that happens with our Career Explorations Office. So there is a lot that happens in between that first year experience and graduation. So I would love it if you could learn a little bit more about us by visiting the website or attending one of our programs. Even if you look at the After Macalester section on our website, you'll see a lot of the different outcomes that our Macalester grads have had, including Danai Gurira, who you might recognize from the Avenger movies. Yes, an amazing actress. She's also a Tony-nominated playwright and a UN Goodwill Ambassador. So she really is just a beautiful ambassador of Macalester, and that she is someone that both wants to pursue what she's passionate about, but also go out and make positive change in the world. So because of that, that thread of community service, she's carried that through and used her platform for good. Service to society is one of our values as well. So almost 100% of our students engage in some form of service. And so you'll find that we are second in the nation for Peace Corps volunteers, for example, and recently we're named second for students who want to change the world, which I think is a pretty awesome thing to be ranked highly for. So definitely so much more to learn about us, and I encourage you to do that. I do want to note a few things about the application process at Macalester. We have different entry points to apply to Mac. So we are a Questbridge school, and there are 2 other Questbridge schools in this group too. I think CMC and WashU are also part of the National Questbridge program. It's the opportunity for low-income students to apply to 42 of the finest institutions in the United States. So I encourage you to look out for that if you are a junior, to just Google Questbridge. We also have early action, early decision, and regular decision as well. And I will note we are a permanently test optional school, and we meet 100% demonstrated need for every admitted student. And I'll hand it over with that.
Thank you so much. All of you are sharing just such great information here tonight. So please continue to ask questions. I see some questions coming through in the chat and or in the Q&A, and continue to take a look at the chat for the contact information that our presenters are sharing. All right, over to Knox College, and Sarah, whenever you're ready.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, everyone. My name is Sarah Colangelo, and I am here to give you quite a whirlwind tour of the human-powered Knox experience. And if you've gotten anything in the mail from Knox ever, everything says human-powered on it, right? The reason is, right, if you've ever been in an ensemble, a performing ensemble, or on an athletic team, every member of that team, every person in that ensemble changes the way you perform, changes the way you work. That's how Knox is. That's how your classroom spaces at Knox are going to be. Every single person matters. You learn as much outside the classroom as you do inside the classroom. So let's get started. Stuff everybody wants to know, right? We'll give you the basics. Knox is a college of about 1,200 students from 45 states and 49 countries. About 32% of students from the US self-identify as BIPOC students. About 19% of students on campus are international students. At Knox, we have 18 NCAA Division III athletic teams and over 100 student-run organizations. Basically, what all that means is there's a lot of folks from all over the place with different ideas and different perspectives and different experiences coming together to do a whole lot of stuff, right? Again, you learn as much from folks outside the classroom as you do inside the classroom. So you're learning from people constantly because you are in these clubs and eating in the cafeteria and living in your dorm spaces with people from all over. Knox is one of the colleges that change lives. If you're doing it right, there isn't a college that won't change your life, but this is a really good place to start if you are looking at small liberal arts colleges. It's a great book and a great collection of schools. Just a quick collection of statistics in terms of admission. Over the last couple of years, about 67% of Knox applicants have been offered admission. The average unweighted GPA on a 4.0 scale is a 3.5. Knox has been test optional since 2007, so don't worry about submitting them if you don't feel like they're a reflection of who you are. That is totally fine. You don't have to submit those scores. You are welcome to come to campus. Come visit campus if you would like to. We are open for visitors. There's also a lot of ways to meet students online and to get to know students online, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a sense of how it feels to be here. It feels busy, but not chaotic. There's always something to do. There's always something happening, but there's also always time to sit in the cafeteria and have a conversation with someone who you've never met before. Again, learning from the people around you. Productive, but not exclusively goal-oriented. You have a lot of time to try new things, right? Academically, we're chasing rabbits. You can try different stuff. I'll talk a little bit more about how that works in a few minutes, but you've got time to try new things. You're taking classes with folks who are interested in things that are a bit different from what you're interested in. And so you learn things, you try new things. Collaborative, but never competitive. Philosophical, but not pretentious. This is my favorite. This is how it feels to be at Knox. Knox students really like to have deep conversations, but not just to hear themselves talk. right? There's always something else to it. Friendly but not shallow. People really mean it when they ask you how you are. Unapologetically smart. Knox students, I think, understand that learning things is a way to make a change in the world, right? That's important. We're all talking about that in some way, shape, or form. That's why we go to college, right? To make a positive difference in the world. And so again, learning things is a way to make that change. And very human. Knox students do pretty incredible stuff, pretty cool research, pretty cool, pretty cool stuff, generally speaking. You can learn a lot more about that on the web or talk to me about it. But everybody is very kind and very, very chill about it. We're in Galesburg, Illinois. It's a city of about 33,000 people, about 3.5 hours away from St. Louis. So a quick 3.5 hour drive. We're also about 3.5 hours away from Chicago. Galesburg is kind of the micropolitan area around which other towns converge, right? So Galesburg's been around for a very long time. You can kind of see Galesburg's history when you walk around the city. We have really good local food, great local pizza, a great local organic food store, but we also have a Buffalo Wild Wings and a Target. We're connected to other places. We are on the Amtrak line. A little bit trickier to get here from St. Louis. You have to take a bus, but you can take Amtrak to the city of Chicago. You can take it to Kansas City if you really want to. We're also about 40 minutes away from Peoria and the Quad Cities. And it's an opportunity. We are, again, kind of the micropolitan around which other towns converge. So we're across the street from the courthouse. There are 2 hospitals in town. I think I could say so many good things about going to college in a small city because you can really make a difference. And you can really walk into a business and say, hey, I want to build this internship with you, which is kind of cool. Couple things you might not find anywhere else: the Power of Experience grant, the 3-3 academic calendar, and immersion terms. The Power of Experience grant is a $2,000 grant that every student receives in their junior year to do something. You cannot sit in a classroom all 4 years at Knox and graduate. You got to do something. There is research funding before this and after this, but this money is waiting for you. So if you never thought you'd do research, you can. Knox is on a trimester system, so 3 classes at a time, 3 terms per year. That's 9 classes per year, 9 times 4 years, 36 classes total, right? So you take 36 classes total, and it takes between 10 and 12 to complete a major at Knox. Here's a list of majors and minors. You'll find those online as well. So that's a little different. And then immersion terms, a little unique to Knox. You don't have to do one of these, but you can. These are basically terms wherein students just do one thing. If you're interested, talk to me more. If you want to apply to Knox, we'll talk a lot more about paying for Knox and how you do that. And then again, after Knox, just a lot of stuff. My time is up, but I would love to chat with you more if you would like. Thank you so much again for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I know it's a short time frame and a lot of information tonight, so please do put your contact information in the chat for our participants and everybody on the call. Again, a reminder to go to these websites for each school to continue to set up other opportunities to talk and to learn more. We're headed over to Claremont, McKenna, where Rochelle is ready to share some information with us.
All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm here to talk about Claremont McKenna College, which is a small liberal arts college in Southern California. We're about 30 miles east of Los Angeles, and we're a part of the Claremont Consortium, which is 5 undergraduate colleges known as the 5 Cs. What does that mean? It means that we are 5 small liberal arts colleges that all share 1 square mile of campus. So our campuses all border each other. They sort of meld together really nicely. We also share cross-registration for academics, dining halls, and some resources on campus. But we also have our own academics, our own residential life, our own campuses. So it's a little bit of your own individual identity mixed with a larger institutional feel. There are about 1,300 students at CMC, and there are about 6,000 students across the 5 colleges. You get that really small, intimate liberal arts experience along with the larger 5C experience. We were founded in 1946 after World War II, where a lot of our first students were coming back from the war. So we were founded as a place to be to educate responsible future leaders, and that's something we really continue on today. It's a part of our academic life. It's a part of our student life. We want our students to be leaders. We want you to get pre-professional experience. And we talk a lot about learning for the sake of doing, learning to be able to take that knowledge out into the world and put it to use as a student and after you graduate. We have an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so we are a small school with discussion-based classes. We have over 30 majors and 12 sequences, which are similar to minors. And like I said, you can take classes at the other colleges in the consortium. You can take up to 1/2 of your classes at any of the other colleges. You can also major at the other colleges as a CMC student. Likewise, students from the other colleges can come to us and major on our campus as well. We offer an immense amount of undergraduate research. We do not have graduate students. There is no competition with graduate students, PhD students for research opportunities. All of the research being done on campus is done by our faculty with our undergraduate students, but it's at that graduate pre-professional level. We have 11 of our own research institutes independently funded and run by our faculty and staff, and almost 80% of our students do research either through these research institutes or through more independent one-on-one work with our faculty in their departments. And I should say that this is something you can start doing as a first-year student. All of the research institutes hire students starting their first year. I know we had a question earlier in the chat about off-campus study. We do encourage students to study off campus, both internationally in over 40 countries with over 150 programs, or 2 of our very specialized programs, Washington, DC and Silicon Valley, which are off-campus semester-long internship programs. So you get a full-time internship for a semester in either Silicon Valley or Washington, DC, while taking classes part-time from the CMC faculty. Our Soul Center for Student Opportunity is really a great driver in helping students find their opportunities. It's also home to our sponsored internships and experiences program, which is money that we give to students for unpaid or underpaid internships to make sure that it is affordable for all students. Last year, we spent almost $2 million for over 500 students to do unpaid internships. And that doesn't even include all the students who did paid internships. So 95% of students do at least 1 internship before they graduate. Over half of our students have done 3, which is 1 each summer. So we have a really high success rate. We bring the most recruiters to campus in the 5 colleges. Our career services advisors are really in-depth specialists in their areas of specialty called interest clusters, which are industry areas. So there's really great advice, really great alumni recruitment, really great alumni connections, and recruitment from big, big companies. The Athenaeum is a speaker series that we host on campus and is really the heart of our discourse. 4 nights a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Every week through the academic year, we host a sit-down dinner with students, staff, and faculty, where a speaker gives a talk. This speaker can be anyone who is a leader in their field, whether that's politics, athletics, academics, whatever it is. They give a speech and then there's a Q&A. So this is something students can take advantage of 4 nights a week, and it really keeps the discourse going on our campus and is really a core part of our identity. Lastly, we have student life. As I said earlier, all of the 5 colleges do residential life individually. So 97% of our students live on campus. Those numbers are similar across the 5 colleges. We are a residential school, we are a community, and all of our surrounding colleges are also residential colleges. So you really get that tight-knit community right here in Claremont. And about 1/3 of our students play varsity sports. The 5 colleges are split into 2 teams. Claremont, McKenna, Harvey Mudd, and Scripps are one team. We're CMS. Go Athenas and Stags, and the other team is Pomona Pitzer, our friendly rivals across 6th Street. So we are a Division III school. We also offer intramurals and club sports through our clubs and organizations. We have about 50 to 60 clubs and organizations that are run by CMC students for CMCers. And then we have over 150 additional 5C clubs and organizations. Those are clubs and organizations that are open to students from any of the 5 colleges. So you can really get to know them, really get to know students across the 5 colleges. So there's a lot of opportunities to crisscross across the colleges, but also get that really core CMC experience. And then I will put up this information about applications. We accept Common App, Coalition App, and QuestBridge. Someone mentioned QuestBridge earlier. We are a QuestBridge partner school, very proudly. These are our 3 decisions. We do have a merit consideration deadline, so if you want to be considered for merit-based aid, you should have your application in by December 1st. We do also offer interviews. They're optional, but highly recommended. We are need blind for U.S. citizens and permanent residents, and meet 100% of demonstrated financial need for all students who are admitted to the college. And I think that's my time. I will put all of my info in the chat as everyone else has. Sorry, I'm having trouble. There we go. Okay,
Thank you very much, Rochelle. All right, and last but certainly not least, WashU, and we've got Emma presenting tonight.
Evening, not afternoon. My apologies, struggling there a little bit, but thank you guys so much for sticking it out with us. My name is Emma Adebayo, and I serve as an associate director here at Washington University in St. Louis. I use she, her pronouns, and if you've ever been to the Forest Park area, you pretty much have been across the street from our campus. We're located about maybe 7 miles west of downtown St. Louis, so just know that even though we're probably really close to home and you're maybe a little nervous about being so close, you're absolutely entering a global campus. We are a medium-sized private research institution, and you again really do have that opportunity to explore and not only, of course, take advantage of all the great amenities in Forest Park, walking our overpass to the Del Mar Loop area, or even taking advantage of the research opportunities that our main campus, Danforth, as well as our medical school or medical campus can provide. So just know that although we are close to home, you really are joining a community of scholars that are coming from across the nation and the world. Over 50 countries, or sorry, all 50 states are represented and over 50 countries are represented when we think about just our students alone. And that number, of course, shoots up to 100 when we think about our faculty and staff. WashU, we have 5 undergraduate academic divisions. Our College of Arts and Sciences is our largest and kind of the heart of our campus. We do not have a core curriculum, so you do have the opportunity to really explore across all 5 academic divisions that we offer, such as our McKelvey School of Engineering, our Olin Business School, and our College of Art and our College of Architecture, when their powers combined make our Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts. So again, just know that in terms of applying to WashU, we of course want to know more about you and your interests. So you do get to tell us the academic division you wish to join and up to 2 majors that you want to start exploring in right away. But just know again, you have that ability to take classes in all the divisions that we offer, as well as pushing the boundaries and considering doing perhaps our Beyond Boundaries program or even applying to our joint degree in business and computer science. So just know again that you really do have that opportunity to explore. Your learning is not just limited to one academic division. In terms of that academic experience, name and story is central to WashU. It's kind of our unofficial motto, to get to know you by name and story. So when I think about our faculty experience, and again, our size, having about 7,000 undergraduate students across all 5 of our divisions, that breaks down to a student faculty ratio of about 7-to-1, and even an average class size of about 24 to 29 students. So pretty comparable to what you might be having right now in high school. So I assure you, you're going to get the opportunity to connect with our faculty members. All of our faculty members have terminal degrees and are teaching your courses, so you are not going to be interacting with graduate students who, of course, are on our campus in that way. But just again, know that you are going to build these relationships with your faculty members. Many of them are often also serving as advisors. I always tell students to just simply think of it this way. At WashU, you're the rock star and we're going to assemble the glam squad around you. So as you continue to grow and explore and figure out what exactly it is that you're interested in, whether it's co-curricular opportunities like studying abroad, you'll get an overseas advisor, or maybe perhaps you want to explore a pre-professional path, maybe medical school or law school, you're going to get those additional support. So just know a big part of your classroom experience is also the things that you are doing outside of it. Many of our students, like I shared earlier, consider WashU for the research opportunities that we are able to provide, specifically because we do have an office of undergraduate research. Something that is pretty distinct. And what I love about that office is all disciplines, all majors is pretty much their motto. So regardless of whether you are a traditional STEM or science kid or thinking about English, they're going to help you figure out what does research mean for you and how, again, can you connect to our faculty outside of the ones perhaps you meet in the residential hall. We also have a phenomenal business school, Olin, but outside of that, sometimes students have an entrepreneurship bug that isn't quite attached to our Olin Business School. So you definitely have that opportunity to really dig deep and dive into a variety of centers that we have and offer. And of course, like I shared earlier, we are a global campus. We have students coming to us from all over the world, and that means St. Louis is their home. And so they often are seeking ways to give back. We have over 400 different clubs and organizations. So whether it's you leaning into your community service, maybe you being a part of a fashion show put on by the African Student Association, or connecting over performing arts because you love a cappella and we have 14 different a cappella groups, there is always something to do at WashU. We have 19 Division III NCAA sport teams with 23 national titles and counting. So again, just know whether it's sports, performing arts, or something different, connecting with others based on your shared identities or ones you want to explore is absolutely something that we encourage our students to take advantage of. In terms of just some stats and figures, because it's always important to share that information, what you're seeing here is just the average profile of our students who are coming in. But please note that in terms of testing, we are test optional for students who will be applying to join the class of 2026 next school year. The testing that you are seeing is also super scored. And again, it is our middle 50%. So we, of course, are able to admit students in and outside of this range every single academic year. In terms of our dates and deadlines, like many of my colleagues have mentioned, we are a QuestBridge Match national partner. We also accept the Common Application, the Coalition Application. Here you're seeing dates and deadlines as it relates to WashU, but ultimately just know that if you are choosing to apply early decision and you want to be considered for merit aid scholarships, your application and specifically your supplemental essay will be used to consider you for our merit-based division scholarships. We do have 3 Signature Scholars programs, and I encourage you to learn more about them online, known as the Irvin, the Rodriguez, and the Danforth, named after 3 individuals who had a significant impact on the WashU community. But learn more about them, and definitely if you want to, choose to submit an application. But just know and understand that we do meet 100% of a student's demonstrated financial need. And doing that means you have to turn in certain paperwork to us. And again, those dates are listed. But just remember that we also do have the WashU Pledge, and we are committed to making WashU affordable for all of our students. So if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out and definitely consider visiting us virtually. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much to all of our presenters for your time this evening. And to all of our participants for joining us this evening. We don't have too much time left here, so I'm going to leave you with a couple of last minute thoughts and a few housekeeping items. And again, wanted to say thank you to everybody who joined us on the panel and on the call tonight. And you've heard some themes throughout what everybody shared, and that is to visit if you can in any way that you can. We know that it's unusual, but a lot of places have many different formats for people to be able to visit and to see if you can envision yourself at these schools. We know this is a quick format on the virtual fair, so please go ahead and explore outside of this session. And again, you can go back to view this recording later on the StriveScan website in about a week to go back and to refresh yourself or to maybe grab some information that you want to remember from this call. And the only question that's a silly one is the one you don't ask. This process is about you, and please, we know it's complex. Ask your questions and please see if you can envision yourself at any of these schools. And one of the best ways to do that is to continue to explore. So a couple of housekeeping items for you all tonight as we are wrapping up is for our participants on the call. Once this call closes out, once you exit out of the Zoom session, you're going to get a survey on your screen. Got about 4 questions, and it's a great way to give us feedback about the events so that we can keep improving them to make them as strong as possible for you all. You can continue to sign up for more sessions on the StriveScan website because colleges are always presenting with great information, and it's a great way to engage and learn more. And again, you can go to strivescan.com/St. Louis for school for this recording in about a week. We thank everybody for your time. We hope everybody stays well and have a great night. Thank you all. Take care.